is Chloe, and this is part 2 of my Zoomin with the Fam series. So today we are going to get to talk to my mom. So let's just go ahead and roll right into the clip. Okay, today we are here with my mom, Gina, and she is going to tell you about her reading experience and how she reads. So my sister, my mom, and my grandma, they are all 3 readers. And so I am having each of them on. And my mom is more of a seasonal binger. So let's just talk about that. How do you like to read?
I like to read. I don't like things that I know the ending. So I don't like to read books about people that I know. Some of my favorite books, I've already known the ending, and I want to change it in my head.
Do you mean like memoirs, or do you mean
Yes, books like books about Jack London.
Okay.
The book where I knew what was going to happen at the end. Frank Lloyd Wright, I knew what was going to happen at the end.
Right.
They make very good stories, but I always want to change the ending, and I don't feel good when I'm finished with them because I wasn't able to do that.
Right. But you do like romance where you know it's going to be a happy ending.
Where it's going to be a happy ending. But I find myself, as much as I want to spend my time reading, I find myself fast forwarding through them.
Yeah.
Getting over I don't want to read about this rough part. And then, I want it to get to where everything's good, especially if there's any suspense in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Where somebody's been kidnapped or somebody's been, he's being held.
What would you say is your favorite genre?
Probably romance with a little bit of suspense, but very little. I don't want to hear anybody getting sexually abused or anybody getting
nothing too dark.
Nothing too dark. I don't like anything dark at all. I like to read to fall asleep when I'm in a book, and so I don't want my last thought to be anything too harmful.
Yeah.
I like to read a series, but I want the series already to be out when I read it because I don't want to wait. I'm not patient that way, and I find myself thinking I'm so wrapped up in it and then having to go back.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because if it's a long time, then it's like I have to reread to even know what happened.
And then I get halfway through the book before I realize that it's one I've already read. I do kind of cling to certain, like if I find one and I look for, well, as you know, I travel, and when I travel, I used to have you download everything. I thought it cost extra. Well, it doesn't now because the web is the web. So I go to Kindle Unlimited and find what's free.
Yeah.
If I like one, I'll just read everything that person has.
And you read like 90% on your Kindle as opposed to physical,
I read all on my Kindle because I like to read to fall asleep.
Yeah.
I don't like book lights.
And you have like a Paperwhite, or what do you have?
Yes, and then I also, sometimes I'll even read on my iPad.
Yeah. Kindle is nice because you can do all sorts of devices.
And you can do outside, regular Kindle. And I like to read laying in the sun, as you know.
So have you always been a reader, would you say?
Yes. Believe it or not, my 2 passions have always gone together. I love to read while I lay in the sun. And I've always been a sun worshiper, so good or bad. Yeah. I have always wanted to have something in my hand reading and I'll read anything. But I prefer, obviously something entertaining. I mean, Daniel Steele's fine with me.
Yeah.
I'll read anything.
Yeah.
I don't
what got you into reading, would you say? Grandma?
No, probably not, because as a kid, you don't really like it when your mother spends Christmas reading and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really not that fun. So reading didn't have as a kid, I wasn't a huge reader. I wasn't. You and your sister were much bigger readers than I was.
Yeah.
It was really, truthfully, just when I have downtime, that's what I want to be doing.
Yeah. Well, because you mostly read on vacation and then right now during quarantine when there's nothing else to do, right?
Yeah, and I'm not a good sleeper, as all of us.
Yeah.
And it makes it, I can fall asleep quite easy with a book.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Wake up and book, and I can do it without bothering, your dad. I don't have to turn on the TV or turn on lights. That's why I like the iPad.
Yeah. What was I going to ask? There was something else I was going to ask.
I'm only a speed reader if I want to get through the bad parts.
Yeah. But still you can read like a book a day.
Oh yes. I read a book a day is about what I like when I'm on vacation or sunbathing or whatever, a book a day, and gets me through. Nice. And then I'll stay up. If it's a really good book, it doesn't put me to sleep.
Okay, so I'm going to bust you out now. Why don't you use Goodreads?
Well, I do, but then I don't. Well, I'm a little bit like, I don't know what to say really, because I don't know to say if it's just a good book. I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah.
I don't want, so I'm really bad at how to say what I feel without saying too much.
But you can get on and just do star ratings and no review.
Yeah, then some things I want to give a 0 star, and I haven't figured out how to do that.
Yeah. Well, you can do a 1. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I guess
pretty
a
bad.
1 speaks for itself.
Yeah. 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 I don't know how you function without it. 'Cause how do you remember what you've read and haven't?
Well, I don't, and sometimes I'll get halfway through a book and go, darn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember this, especially with the Kindle, and especially when I don't visit, because there'll be months that I don't read.
Yeah.
During the busy time here at work and stuff, there'll be months, and then I'll pick it up and try to read everything at once, and then I won't recognize it right off until all of a sudden I go, wait a minute, I know how this ends.
Yeah. So Kindle Unlimited is one service that you use a lot. Is there
Yes.
anything else?
No.
No.
Your
Yeah, you really just buy Kindle books.
Sometimes Alana, your sister, sometimes, but we haven't been real similar.
Yeah, she's a little broader, I think, than you.
Yeah, but she's recommended. She gave me a really good one. But see, and there again, the problem with the Kindle and even books, I couldn't tell you who wrote them or what the title of the book was.
Yeah. Well,
because
do you know, you mentioned a couple authors. Do you have any favorites that you?
Well, the one that I've been reading lately, and she's really, and this is the other bad thing, I like to read what I call nothing books.
Yeah.
Because of, the difference between me and your father. You got to learn something from everything you read.
Yeah, dad's an educator. He's got a notebook and everything.
Yeah, I don't want to learn.
Yeah.
I want to just, and so my binge in St. Bart's this year was, I can't even say her name. We have it on here, That Month in Tuscany.
Is it Ingrid Cooper?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, she's got a lot on Kindle.
I read probably about 5.
Yeah.
Different books, all similar.
You've been reading some Emma Chase, haven't you? Or Emma Scott? Is it Emma Scott or Emma Chase?
Chase, isn't it? And then there's the Gabby or Abby Grimes. I don't know.
Yeah, Abby Glime.
Yeah. Abby yes. I've read a lot of her stuff when I'm traveling.
Good.
I think I like women better than men, actually.
I do.
I think about it.
Well, because it sounds like what you mostly like is like women's fiction and romance and that kind of stuff. And typically it's told from a woman's perspective. So if it's written by a man, it's just hard for them to get it right. I don't want
them to dress perfect and drink too much wine.
Yeah.
And get up and go to work like nothing happened.
Yeah.
I don't like too much in it, but enough to,
Yeah.
Like I watched you earlier saying that you had read and you couldn't think of the name 50 Shades of Grey. I would never read that. Ever.
Yeah, I read that. We were in Austin at that
spot. I do remember right when you read it.
I was trying, I am a sucker for the hype. Like, if everybody's reading something, I have to know, like, what's going on. And so, yeah, that's why I read that.
Well, when one year you recommended Hunger Games, and I had never heard, and it was actually good. Yeah, I never.
I'm not a huge
never
fan
would have watched that.
Really?
Yeah.
It's good. I'm not a huge fan of, like, sci-fi or...
Me either, but I wanted to see who she ended up with at the end. So I read through them all to get to who she ended up with.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. And that was a really good one. She is coming out with a prequel now because, there's like 3 books. She's writing like a one before the Hunger Games. Yeah. So I think that could be interesting, but we'll see.
Somebody told me when saw me reading that, said, do you know that you're reading a teenage
Well, yeah. So how do you feel about that? Like reading things like Harry Potter or just things that are...
I don't like Harry Potter. I can't get into it, but I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I like reading I like reading some of your daughter's books. Books are books.
Yeah. We'll come over anytime.
Yeah. Well, when this is over, I will.
Yeah. We went to the potty like 6 times because she's now learned if she sits on the potty, we'll read to her. And so I was cleaning up and she didn't want to clean up. She wanted to read on the potty.
Got it. So she is definitely going to have us all beat with her reading, I think.
Yeah, she loves it, which is awesome. I would love to know. So yeah, did you do anything particular with Alana and I to make us readers?
No, you both loved it. You both were going to that was just, I think it was something I never said no to.
Yeah.
Anytime you wanted a set of books or anything, you always got it.
Yeah.
And that's something my mom did too. I gave you some of them. We have, she always let us have we always like the sets because that, how can you fill it all in and stuff. And
did you read any like Nancy Drew or any of that kind of stuff?
No, I didn't. Yes, a little bit. I didn't really care for it, but that I think it's partly because my older sister, that was her thing.
Oh,
okay. You
can't
have the same thing as your older sister.
Yep.
So I didn't. The Nancy Drew books were just okay to me. I mean, I read them.
Have any particular?
No, I really didn't. I didn't do babies. I didn't. You did the Babysitter Club, and there was not really that many sets other than Nancy Drew when I there wasn't a lot. All the Narnia books I absolutely adored.
Really?
As a grown up.
Yeah. I've never read them.
Oh, know they're fabulous. I love them.
Yeah,
I
know Lana likes them. I've never read. Have you seen any of the movies?
No.
No.
I don't know that I would want to, because I think if you put too much fantasy in with it.
Yeah. Well, and that's one thing that I definitely got from you is that, like, there's, especially right now, there's so many books that are being made into movies. And I just don't, like, I can read the book and spend hours doing that, but I just don't have the attention span for a movie. And I can't, like, I just don't care. I would rather read the next book than watch the movie.
Yeah. And make my own pictures in my own head, because then, especially if you read it, then try to see the movie. They don't pick the right people, and it's not who you pictured it to be.
We did both read. You and I kind of, but did we buddy read, or did I read and then you read? We read really close, Big Little Lies, and then started watching that.
Yes.
But we failed at finishing it.
I was gone, and you said read it, and we'll watch it together when we get back. And I thought, I mean, it had some really dark things, but I enjoyed. That's when I did enjoy the book more than the
Me too.
show. A lot more.
Just because, spoiler free, don't say anything about spoilery, but I don't like the change that they made in this series. At all. And then now I think they've had a second season or something that is not related.
It's something called something different, but
something. I don't know. Have you read any other? Do you know if you've read any other Liane Moriarty?
Yes, I have, quite a few actually, but I don't. You'd have to tell me.
Do you remember any of them?
No, but I know I liked them all.
What Alice Forgot is one of my favorites.
That made me sad.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Have you read any Taylor Jenkins Reid?
I don't know. You'd have to.
I think you would like her I mean, she's very women's fiction. But there's one called After I Do that is really sad, but really good. It's about a couple who they decide, like, they're just kind of having a rocky marriage, and they decide to take a year with no contact. And so he moves out. They do no contact at all. And then, like, at the end of the year, they decide, do we get back together? Do we stay apart? And it's, like, very good. I read it, like, 3 times, which I don't like to reread. So
yeah, wow.
That one, I'll have to show you. I think they even have it on audio, maybe through our library.
That I don't like to do.
You don't like audiobooks?
I don't like audio one bit.
It's just too hard to focus, or what? Why don't you like it?
My mind won't stay with it.
Yeah.
It won't stay with it. I've got to be reading it. I've got to be completely engaged, or I'll go off and do something else.
Do you play Candy Crush still?
Huh?
Do you play Candy Crush? No. That's what I like to do while I listen to audio, because it's so mindless. But
yeah, no, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And then in the car, it makes me sleepy, so I'm not one to turn on a book and,
Are there any genres that you refuse to read?
I won't read sci-fi.
Yeah.
I won't read
like the Hunger Games and stuff, though, you did, and that's not really sci-fi.
But like I said, it had enough romance in it and enough about the little sister and that type of thing. It had enough other stuff that I was interested in. The fights and stuff that they would have, I would skip through. I wouldn't read the detail of the fights. I don't, and like I said, I would probably never read Narnia is a fantasy, but it's a fantasy really related with real life.
Yeah.
It really has a lot of parallels. So I would probably never read the Harry Potter books. I'm not a Stephen King reader, stuff like that. I'm not. I'm no gory, no, nothing like that. There's no reason. That's like watching the news. It's not worth it.
I know. Yeah. So right now there's some stuff going around BookTube. Like, would you rather read a book about like a world spread pandemic, or are you looking for like light and fluffy stuff to get you out?
Light and fluffy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no reason to read what we're living. I mean.
Yeah. Except
make it into,
earlier today, it's weird to read books about people traveling, and
it's weird to even think about traveling. It's it's weird that like they went to a restaurant, and there were 50 people and
like
people at the next tables touched my knee. No, it is very strange. But no, I wouldn't want to read, because the stories we make up in our heads is good enough for what's going on.
Any pandemic tips or tricks for quarantining? What have you been doing?
Working and being on vacation. I mean, you think you don't have to wonder what you're going to do.
Yeah.
I've been cooking a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of experiments. Tofu
Yeah.
chocolate pie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
Chocolate
he's still
pie.
on his third day of it, so I think it's going okay.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been doing that too. I had a box of graham cracker crumbs in my pantry that I don't know how old they are, but I tasted them and they're fine. So I just threw them all together and like made s'mores bars, I guess is
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
calling them.
nice. Yeah, that's what I've been just trying to clean out the cupboards and
Yeah.
watch movies, which is something we never did before.
Yeah.
And we watch movies, and my movie watching partner will try to engage halfway through and say, "What just happened? What happened? What happened?" I
Yeah.
found out that there's a reason we don't go to movies. He talks all through them.
That is obnoxious.
Well, it's obnoxious and it's unusual for a man that never talks.
I know. For people, well, most people don't know my dad. He is a very, very quiet man, but
Yeah.
when he chooses his words, it's often an inconvenient time.
Yes. But anyway, so we've been trying to watch a lot of movies, and I watch movies like books. I only watch them on airplanes.
Uh-huh.
And so when we're trying to do this at home, we never watch movies and we never go to the movies. We're watching a lot of movies that halfway through I go, I saw this on an airplane.
But I can do it in the theater or like on an airplane when I'm like confined and have nothing else I can do. But
yeah. And that's what at home, I guess we really have nothing to do and we refuse to watch the news. So
yeah. Well,
so
you don't
we'll
have
watch
cable anymore,
movies.
do you?
Huh?
You don't have cable anymore, do you?
Hulu Live.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I guess that's it, really. Is there anything else you want to say?
Well, no, I just it's fun watching you and listening to you and all those. I mean, you are much more advanced in your reading than your mother.
Well,
But I'm listening to your opinions and your ideas. I do get a lot of ideas from you on what to read and what not to read too.
yeah, there's
Without having to call you and ask you.
The Dream Daughter by Diane Chamberlain. I think you would really like that one too.
And I do like Diane Chamberlain.
Yeah, it's about a girl who it's like the 70s or something maybe, and she's pregnant, and they know that her baby has got like a heart issue, but they can't treat it. And I mean, they just don't have the technology to treat it.
I'm not sure I'd like that.
Well, so she can time travel. So it's a very interesting. She can travel to the future where her baby can be taken care of. So it's very, 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 very good. So yeah. And see, another like sci-fi type that you might like is The One by John Mars. Have you heard of that? It's about basically this world. It's not really sci-fi. I mean, I would call it dystopia, but it's about a world where they have this technology. You can submit your DNA and get your perfect match, like your perfect soulmate. And so then you can choose, like you can send in your DNA and know who your soulmate is, or you cannot. And so it's 5 different people in this program and like their story, because what if the person you're matched to is not a good person, or what if they're across the world, or what if they're 30 years older than you, or
that would be interesting.
So it was very interesting. But yeah, okay. Well, thanks for coming on.
Another thing I got a kick out of in one of your videos was your bringing books home from Europe.
Do you remember that?
And the suitcase that fell apart as we got it to the driveway.
Yeah. So I bought an extra suitcase just for books, and
we didn't pay a whole lot for that suitcase.
No, it was a very cheap suitcase, and it served its purpose. It was cheaper than mailing them home, but
it made it to the driveway, and then it crumbled into pieces.
But the amount of time that we spent in bookshops and stuff
was fun.
Browsing, it was worth it. So
yeah.
And I've read most of them. I've got a couple obviously still on my shelves, but
yeah, I saw a few with the pound sign on. yeah, that was good.
Fun.
That was good. Well, it's fun.
Let's get your opinion. I've thought about having Dad on this series.
I think that would be fabulous.
I don't know. I don't know I don't know. He reads all nonfiction, most like spiritual or self-discovery or
spiritually enlightening.
Yeah. And not with really not specifically Christian, not specifically really any specific religious affiliation, but it might be entertaining. I don't know that everybody would get a lot of book recommendations, but maybe. So, yeah,
I think it would be nice.
All right. Well, thank
All right.
you.
Thank you. It
Yeah.
was fun.
Okay. We'll talk to you later.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. What's going on at your house? She left.
Yeah, she's gone. That's fine. She's staring at my book spine saying what she likes and doesn't like.
Well, good.
And I am probably going to have to do some editing because she's refusing to wear pants.
Panties in a twist.
Literally. I don't know if you can hear this, but she's walking around saying, "Hey boys, hey boys," and coloring on things. So I don't know what she's doing, but we'll see if this works out.